This book shouldn't exist. Technically, it doesn't. There happens to be a warehouse full of these somewhere in Dallas, Texas, unbound, just wasting away. But here it is in my hands no matter what. And I'd like to thank Father Peter for letting me borrow it. This is the priest service book from the Orthodox Church in America. Unpublished, but widely used. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to Orthodox Review. This is episode 17 and today we're going over the curious little priest service book translated by Archbishop Dimitri of blessed memory. This book, as stated in the intro, doesn't technically exist, and yet here it is in my hands. Well used lovingly over several years by a parish priest, first seminarian, then deacon, then parish priest, with plenty of notes and well worn in. Now, before I get into the contents, I have to do the whole shilling thing, so please like, share, and subscribe. If the Spirit so moves you, we have a Patreon, just to help me pay for books, really. Anyway, or if you just want to donate a book, feel free to do so. And as always, questions, comments, and concerns down below, please. I love talking with all of you. We've been having some great conversations. That being said, let's get into it. There's not much special about the actual contents of the book. Most hieraticons and service books are the same. So there's nothing too special about the actual contents. What I will say is that this particular translation seems to fall in line with what we now use in the OCA. So this could be considered a precursor to the standard St. Tikhon's books now. This was a labor of love. Obviously, he was not compensated for this. He was a scholarly man, and so that's just what he did. Now, originally, the unbound books were printed in 2002 and 2003. And they bear a copyright. And some copies were bound, as you can see. How they were distributed is beyond me. But outside of that, there it is. Now, what you will find is, if you ever happen to come across one. Now, Father Peter said, oh, the binding is terrible on these. I beg to differ. I mean, yes, it's well broken in, but a great example of the binding is right here in the beginning. That heavy sewn binding. That just, man, this book ain't gonna quit. The Father has used this book for years and years and years and years and years, and actually just recently started using the new St. Tikhon's book when it was published earlier this year, late last year. So for what it is a hardy and sturdy book. The print itself, as you can see, is fairly readable. Nothing fancy about the font or anything like that. It's nice and simple and easy. 3 ribbon markers and everything you could possibly need in a priest's service book. Man, look at the notes. Oh, all right. I told him I wouldn't give away his name. But these were all his notes as not only a seminarian, but as a deacon long before he was a priest. And now he wears the golden cross, so he's been a priest for a hot minute. But as far as the contents go, it's the same contents you would find in any service book for priests and deacons. Now, wow, look at all these notes. This is fantastic. What a little treat it's been to kind of dig through his youth. Anyway, the editor's notes in particular, and I will sum them up for you, is that this service book is not the be-all and end-all. It's just another addition to the American lexicon of English translations of service books. And this one in particular, because he was a scholarly man, he said was to be used not only by priests and deacons, but as students as well, as kind of a textbook, because the rubrics are so well explained in this volume. It's worth mentioning a few things about Vladyka Dimitri. He was he's being venerated as a saint in some circles. His incorrupt relics were exhumed last year, or was it the year before? Either way, you're starting to see icons of him floating around. Now, real quick about him, he was born in Texas. 2nd November 1923, passed away on 28th August 2011. He was first ordained a priest in 1954. He was consecrated as a bishop in June 1969, the 29th of June 1969, and was Bishop of Berkeley, California, and bounced around quite a bit as a bishop, overseeing different areas. And then with the establishment of the Diocese of the South in the OCA, was bishop, enthroned Archbishop there on 9th May of 1993. Of course, he was the first ruling bishop of the diocese, what would become the Diocese of the South, in 1978. He retired in 2009, 2 years before his repose, but was still very active. So if you want, please read up on Vladyka Dimitri of blessed memory. He was quite an amazing man, and there's actually a thesis document floating around out there about him. And if you happen to come upon the thesis document of one Father Peter Robichaux, you'll be in for a treat. Hey, kitty. Okay, the cat tells me it's time to stop. Sorry this is such a short episode, but really it's just more the oddity of the thing, and just kind of holding this little piece of history that may or may not should be. But at any rate, I've got much longer and much more interesting videos coming up in the near future, so please stay tuned. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram for Randomonium, and 1.5 big thumbs up. So please pray for me during the fast here. It's a rough one. And anyway, go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless.